Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to create radical abundance in every area of your life. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Big video for you today. It was a discussion yesterday with this particular subscriber and creator, powerful creator. He said, Tom, I'm just feeling blessed in every area of my life now. And I really wanted to understand what clicked with him, because I always like to share that with you. It always provides for a very powerful masterclass. And he said, really, it was the story. The idea that we really, the story we tell in every moment with our thoughts, our assumptions, and even and especially with our words, that creates our entire life experience. And he said, I just shifted my story. He goes, I really get it. My story can be anything. And I want to share with you a subscriber comment on yesterday's video that was so powerful that I love it so much that I want to show it again. And here it is. I love this, as you can see. When we listen to the thoughts and feelings and let them guide us, it's like letting the story tell the story. But I'm telling the story. Beautiful, beautiful way to really understand this idea that your thoughts and feelings, trying to feel better, trying to control them, you're allowing them to tell your story, right? The manifested thoughts and feelings, the manifested conditions that seem so solid, past, present, and future, as we remember our past, as we see our present around us, as we hope for that future, we create this certain script that seems immovable, unchangeable. It seems like the script is written, that our fate's written, but as we talked about yesterday, that script's always changing. In other words, you're always in a new script. There are infinite scripts, there are infinite possibilities. Remember this that I've said, I probably said it in yesterday's video, and I've said it in many videos. Either you are telling the story of how you would like your reality to be and who you desire to be, your ideal you, or your self-concept, or someone or something else is. So who is that someone or something else? Well, it's your thoughts and feelings, as we've talked about yesterday. It's the manifested script. It's others that you have created, versions of others in your reality. That subconscious past that you believe is sabotaging your reality and not allowing you to live the life of your dreams. It's those memories, it's those thoughts, those feelings, the story of someone or something else out there, some other power, some secondary power, secondary source is keeping me or keeping you from living and experiencing the life of your dreams. That's what we create. That's the story we create. But I love this comment. When you listen to those thoughts and feelings in others, in manifested conditions, in those memories of your past, you're letting them, the story, because they're just a story, tell the story. But I am is telling the story. You are that awareness that tells the story. But you're letting all these other things, all those people, events, and circumstances, that manifested script, those things that appear out there are just another story. Do you see it? That's why I love this comment so much. It's so powerful, right? Either you're telling your story from that I am awareness, from who you are now, a completely clean slate. You are new in every moment. You get to tell the story the way you would like things to be, not the way they appear to be or appeared to be, but how you would like them to be, and that becomes your entire life experience, period. Doesn't matter what the changing conditions are showing you. This is powerful today. So let's talk about this. And then there was another comment on yesterday's video, the insane power of telling a new story to change your life overnight. Or no, not yesterday's video. This is another video. Yesterday's video, we talked about the idea that thoughts and feelings, trying to feel better about a reality you don't prefer, trying to feel better about an identity that you no longer choose, keeps you identifying with that unwanted reality and that no longer preferred identity. That's what we talked about in yesterday's video. That's linked below. But this comment on another one of our videos about telling a new story, that's why I like this so much. This is what they said. Holy Christ. I love that. Holy Christ is right. Holy I am, right? That was so clear and powerful. Let's all write a new story now. The idea, remember, when we believe that we have to change the story, right? We get into this idea that we have to change the manifested script. You can't change any one alternative reality, any one parallel identity. All of them exist as part of all that is. It's not changing, altering, or getting rid of anything. It's about writing your new story. Because remember, any change within you is a total change. So it's a total new script, a total alternative parallel reality, a total new alternative parallel you. So even when you think about the idea of altering or changing, you're not really altering and changing any one script or identity. Those exist forevermore as part of existence, as part of all that is. That's what all that is. It's all that is. Instead, you're lighting up, calling forth that new idea of who you are, that new idea of your reality, right? So there are many laws, right? We talked about this yesterday. It was interesting, right? Because so many are talking about the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of frequency, the law of correspondence, the law of cause and effect, the universal laws of rhythm, of opposites, of polarity, the law of growth, the law of prosperity, the law of reciprocity, the law of reversibility that Neville Goddard talks about. There are all those laws, and they all have validity. There's all power in those, right? You might want to call these the law of the duality, or the law of relativity, the law of the dual world, or the relative world, the universal world, right? That universe. But there's a source. There's a law before all of those laws. The only law that matters, the law of being, the law of I am, source of all of this, of vibrations, of attraction, of frequency, of correspondence, of cause and effect, of rhythm, opposites, prosperity, reciprocity, versatility. It's the law of that's why Neville Goddard's teaching of the law of assumption is so powerful. It includes all of these laws. And is right there with the law of being, the law of who you assume you are, as I am awareness. Every other law is subject to that law. Every other law is subordinate to the law of being, to the law of who you say you are. That's why in Scripture it says, I am the Lord, all in capital letters, meaning the law, meaning that absolute law of being. And there is no other. There's no other God besides me. There's no other reality, no other possibility, no other source, no other energy but this law, this Lord of Scripture. This is powerful. So let's continue. Remember, when we use Scripture, we're not using it from a religious context. It's a metaphysical context of creation. And Jesus Christ representing that the Son of God and the Son of Man together, that experience within you as a point of awareness, as the center of the divine mind. That's what we're talking about. So that's why Neville Goddard's law of assumption is so insanely powerful. Your assumptions, or what you say is true, or your truth about yourself, about your I am identity, and the people, events, and circumstances around you, create and manifest your entire life experience. In fact, they create and manifest the people, events, and circumstances around you. In other words, it's all created from this perspective of who you are. Your assumption, your I amness, its law, it's the Lord. There's no world outside of your assumptions of it. There's no world outside of the assumptions of who you are. The real physical world is actually only an assumptive world, as Neville Goddard says. The real physical world is only an assumptive world, right? And we know that physical world is a projection or a reflection or a hologram. But it doesn't make it any less real. It's still reality. It's still an expression of all that is. That's what we mean. It's not about what's real or not real, or even what's real or an illusion. An illusion just simply means it's not what it seems. Everything is part of that greater reality, that ultimate reality of love, of who you are. It's all an expression of that, right? So before Abraham, I am. This was a shocking statement made by Jesus in front of the Pharisees and others in John 8:5-8. So shocking that they picked up stones to stone him, it says in Scripture. Remember, Jesus representing your I am awareness of being. This shocking statement by Jesus, the Son of Man and the Son of God, right? The Son of Man is the Son of God in expression, expressing itself in the physical, as a physical experience, knowing itself experientially as the Son of God. That's what the Son of Man means. That's you, me, and others expressing ourselves as points of unique, individualized, personalized points of consciousness that we call our personality, right? So, shocking statement by Jesus, your I am awareness, the Son of Man. You as I am awareness, the perfect idea of God, or the great I am in expression. Shocking to say, before Abraham, I am. So what can that mean? It means that I am is the one and only source of your entire life experience. Before all the stories that you tell, before all of your thoughts and feelings and sensations and manifested conditions and circumstances, before all of that, there's your awareness of being. It's the greatest story ever told. It's the greatest love story, because I am is absolute love. I've said that before. It's the greatest love story ever told. The love of who you really are. That's powerful. Before Abraham, before any story, before any thought, before any assumption, before any feeling, before any manifested condition or circumstance, I am. In other words, I am perfect, whole, complete, and fulfilled. I am healthy, wealthy, free, and in love, because I am love itself. Before any other story, thought, or feeling, before we let those other stories of thoughts and feelings and others and manifested conditions tell our story, like that subscriber said, before we allow the story to tell the story, I am. You're allowing your story to tell your story, as they said. All other laws, hear this, all other laws are subject to and subordinate to the law of I am, the law of being. All of them. So you can talk about the law of correspondence, the law of polarity, the law of prosperity, the law of growth, the law of cause and effect, the law of vibration, the law of frequency. They're all of those laws are subject to and subordinate to the law of I am, the law of being. That's why Neville Goddard's law of assumption is so powerful. Because even the law of assumption is subject to I am. But it's just right there with it, because who you assume you are creates your entire life experience. So the law of assumption really is a powerful way to express yourself as that I am awareness, assuming that you already are that person you desire to be, assuming that you already have those things that you really want to have. All other processes and techniques are subject to and subordinate to your I am story. So of course, do a state akin to sleep. Imagine and visualize your life as you would like it to be. Create that 2 to 3 second imaginal frame. That's powerful. Imagine yourself being congratulated, or imagine yourself on your wedding day. Imagine your SP knocking down your door to express their love for you. Imagine all that, right? Affirm all that. Do robotic affirmations, right? Affirm things, but from the idea of love and fulfillment, from the idea of your true story, the greatest love story ever told, your love of yourself as I am. Tell it from that story. And then it makes all of those processes much more powerful. Because remember, all processes and techniques are about choosing. Choosing that part of all that you are that you want to experience now, in this now moment. We covered that in a few videos now. Everything else is subject to and subordinate to your I am story. No matter how much you imagine, visualize, affirm, script, meditate, and desire to change your world, unless you know yourself as already healed, already fulfilled, already complete, already whole. Or in other words, the assumption that I am already that which I desire and want to be, as Neville Goddard would say, it is in vain. It's all in vain unless you're telling that story that you're already fulfilled and healed and complete. All of that becomes, that's what they mean by speaking the Lord's name in vain, right? Or desire, or creating in vain, or manifesting in vain. When you manifest, meditate, or visualize and affirm a desire to change your world without knowing yourself as already being that change, already being healed, complete, and whole, or in other words, the assumption that you're already that which you desire to be, it's in vain. So when this subscriber wrote, "Holy Christ," that was so clear and powerful, she got it. She understood what that meant. That's what it means. It means tell the story from fulfillment. Tell the story not from lack and separation, but from love and fulfillment. So affirm and script and meditate and do all of those things from the love and fulfillment of who you already are versus the lack and separation of who you believe you are not. That's powerful. The Christ, I am awareness, the Son or children of the living source, the great I am, pure awareness. That's what we're talking about. So when she wrote Holy Christ, she's referring to Christ, your I am awareness, the Son and the children of that living source, you as the Son of God, as the children of the living source, expressing yourself, knowing yourself experientially in this physical, projected and reflected 3D world experience, right? It's that pure awareness knowing itself, the great I am, right? Without it ever changing it, without it ever identifying as that. That's powerful. I am is the greatest story ever told. It's a love story. It's the story of love, right? It's the story of that one changeless, timeless, ultimate reality of love. In Mark 8:27, where it begins, and Matthew 16:13, I've talked about this verse many times in Scripture. Remember, this is Jesus, your I am awareness, your awareness of being, having a conversation with you, right? That 3D focused personality. Who do people say that I am? Who do people say that I, the Son of Man, am? It starts here in Mark 8:27 and also in Matthew 16:13. John, and then the disciples answer, right? The apostles answer, John the Baptist, and others say Elijah, but others one of the prophets. The changing thoughts, letting the changing thoughts and feelings tell your story, letting others tell your story, letting that subjective past that you believe shaped who you are tell your story, right? Allowing the people, events, and circumstances and what you believe are triggers to tell your story, right? But Jesus presses on. But who do you say that I am? Not those changing thoughts and feelings and circumstances and conditions and the processes that you believe you have to do to get what you want. Not that, but who do you say you are? And then Simon Peter answers, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. You are that source. It's the greatest love story ever told. You are that I am awareness. So the question is, what's your story? Remember, the Son of Man as the Son of God in expression. That's who you are, knowing yourself experientially as all that is, as a physical, projected, reflected experience that we call 3D reality. That's you, both the Son of Man, Jesus, and the Christ, the Son of God, in expression, knowing yourself experientially in this 3D physical experience, all coming from within you. So, the living God or source is that great pure awareness, or that knowing, the great I am that I am. That's the source. That's the great I am. That's the great source or the isness of reality. It's pure awareness. It's pure knowing. Behind everything is just knowing. Not knowing anything in particular, knowing itself as that one reality. When you know yourselves, then you'll be known, as Jesus said in the Gospel of Thomas. and you'll realize that you're children of the living source. But if you don't know yourselves, then you live in poverty, and you are the poverty. That's what we're talking about. The I am story is about knowing yourself as source, knowing yourself as the one and only creator of your reality. That's what we mean by telling your story, right? To know yourself as the Son of the living God. Then you'll be known. In other words, there's nothing else that you have to do. Just once you know yourself as source, then you create from that knowing. You experience yourself from that knowing. You're no longer separate from the things that you desire. You're no longer feeling lacking or wanting and needing it. You're expressing yourself as it. You're already that. Either you're telling the story of who you are or someone or something else is. And who is that someone or someone else? Feelings, thoughts, programs, the past, people, events, circumstances, patterns, right? Some people go, but it's a pattern. I don't know how to, this pattern is creating it. I don't know how to get rid of it. Well, once you know like Bashar says, once you know it's a pattern, it's not a pattern anymore. It's a choice. So these are not, remember, no one has power or authority over you to create in your reality, in your world. You create your entire world, your entire version of the people, events, and circumstances. No one has power to create in your world, in your reality. That's why Jesus said, you would have no power over me unless it were given from above. You would have no power or authority whatsoever, as he's in front of Pontius Pilate, talking to Pontius Pilate, right? You'd have no power, no authority unless it was given from above. This is powerful. So, what about those subconscious programs and automatic patterns and beliefs? They make me feel powerless to change anything in my life. This was a discussion yesterday. Remember, subconscious means below awareness, or in other words, subject to your awareness of being. So it's below your awareness. Your awareness is above it, or in other words, is everything, is that ultimate source. So they're not automatic unless you believe they are, unless you allow them to be. Do you see that? That sub means below that I am awareness, subject to that awareness of being. They have no power. You are the power. You are the conscious power. Once you know who you really are, in other words, knowing yourself as source, like Jesus said in the Gospel of Thomas, I am awareness. It's no longer a pattern or a program. Hear this. It's a choice. Wow. Once you know yourself as the Son of the Son of the Christ, the Son of the living God, the Son of the living source, that I am awareness, it's no longer a pattern or a program. It's a choice for you to allow it to automatically create your reality. To allow those thoughts and feelings to tell your story. To allow the story to tell your story. I love that. It's not about changing or reprogramming the subconscious or consciousness or all that is. It's all that is. It doesn't reject anything. It includes everything. So you're not reprogramming or changing it. Right? It's about choosing and telling your unique story as the center of all of that, as the center of all that is. That's what it's about. You don't change anything. You rearrange your view of it, your perspective, your vantage point of all that is. Creation's finished. It doesn't change, you do. In other words, you change your viewpoint or perspective of all that you are. All those years, right, struggling to believing that you have to reprogram and change the program or do something about that, right? That's powerful because remember, that subconscious is subject to, right, below your awareness and subject to your conscious awareness as that I am awareness. All of it, right? So that's powerful. The subconscious doesn't reject or even accept anything. This whole discussion came up again yesterday. I've covered it in many videos. but it doesn't accept, it doesn't reject, and doesn't even accept anything. It's not about that. It is everything. Everything creation is finished. The script's written. All possibilities exist. So it's not about acceptance or rejection. It's about what are you accepting or rejecting as your identity. We want to push it off on the subconscious and say that's what's rejecting it. It won't accept it. But that's not outside of you. It's about you accepting or rejecting it. This is the same idea when we push things out into the 3D physical manifested world and blame it on others and complain about reality, right? That believing that others are triggering us and conditions are triggering us and gaslighting us and making us respond or brainwashing us or keeping us locked in a reality we don't want. You choose. It's about you. The who is you, right? So you get to choose. No one's out there. There are no secondary powers. There's no outside power wreaking havoc on your reality, on who you are. You get to decide. The subconscious doesn't reject or even accept anything. It is already all that is. Before Abraham, I am, the great subconscious, or that conscious awareness, or that knowing. There it is. That's the great I am, right? It's all that is. One with God, one with reality. Then you create your story. The Son of God as the Son of Man, your I am story, which creates your entire life experience. It's always changing. Do you see it from this identity in the present moment, who you are, that 3D focused you as the Son of Man, as the Son of God creates it all. You create the idea of who you were and who you will be, all from this current perspective. It all gets created now. It's not about how, well, Tom, how do I tell my story? What do I say? It's not about that. It's about who you are. Answer that question. I am loved. I am free. I am wealthy. I am everything I've ever wanted to be and dreamed to be. I am complete. I am whole. I am fulfilled right now. Remember, the affirmations are powerful because they're telling a story. But if you're using them just as some independent sentence, that you believe if you say that, it will magically manifest the life you want, now you're doing it in vain. The affirmation's about telling the story about who you are. That's the power of any affirmation. Whether it be robotic as you repeat it, or remember, all affirmations are robotic. You're always repeating them. That's what an affirmation is. You're affirming that reality that's already within you. Who are you? Say it from that knowing that you're already all things. You are the Son of God and the Son of Man, experiencing yourself experientially in this physical, manifested, linear experience of time and space. But it's all right now. Your I am story creates your entire life experience, past, present, and future, here and now. The past and future are just ideas that you create from this present moment of who you are now. From that perspective, who you are now creates who you were. There's no facts about who you were. You create that idea now. There's no facts about who you will be. You create that now. Wow. You create all the story about the story you're telling yourself right now. So you are here in this projected and reflected 3D physical experience to think, feel, and move. Don't forget, we are here to feel emotion or source ourselves as source energy. We are here to think and feel and move and have physical experiences with others in reality. So don't try to escape that. That doesn't make any sense, trying to ignore physical reality, 3D world, like it's something bad out there. It's within you. We're here to think and feel and move in it. We're here to embrace it. Stop running from it and be it. Create it from within you. But remember, we're here to think, feel, and move within that physical reality, but not to create fulfillment, right? Because we're already fulfilled, but to remember you already are fulfilled. To express and experience and know yourself as source, or I am awareness. That's why we're here, right? It's not to come it's not from a sense of lack and separation, but from love and fulfillment. To remember that you already are fulfilled, to express and experience and know yourself as that one source, that one God, to tell your I am story, the greatest story ever told. You're always telling the greatest love story ever told when you tell the story about yourself. Whatever that is. I am perfect. It is unfolding perfectly. It doesn't, no matter what those conditions look like, no matter what the conditions, the health conditions in my body or the outer conditions of events and circumstances or what people are saying, what the thoughts and feelings are doing, no matter what, I am that I am. I was made in God's image, and God doesn't make mistakes. I was made perfect like the Father in heaven. Not from lack and separation. So tell your I am story. Not from lack and separation, but from love and fulfillment. Not from waiting and wanting and complaining about reality and wanting your life to be different, but to know that it always is based on the story of who you are now, based on the story you're telling yourself. It's you. It's all you. You get to create it all. It creates radical abundance in every area of your life. That's what this person was telling me. Their story now is that I create radical abundance in every area of my life. He walks around saying that. It doesn't matter what the temporary conditions show him. He knows. He's standing. He's taking a stand in his I amness, taking a stand in his knowing as source, knowing himself as knowing itself, as awareness itself. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, The Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, for being part of our membership channel. We have a membership live stream this Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, right here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful, on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. We're going to come to you live and answer your questions that you've been sending to us and the topics to info@besomethingwonderful.com, and also to answer your questions live on the chat. It's always fun. It's always cool. We're always leveling up together. If you're a member, join us. If not, check out the link below. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.